What if the trees were watching us? I mean, really watching us. Today, we're jumping into a chilling story that takes that very question to its most terrifying extreme. It all starts with a classic camping trip, you know the vibe, but it spirals into this crazy mystery with missing relatives, maybe some alien communication, and this horrifying idea that nature itself is just waiting to pass judgment. Right off the bat, the story just sets this incredibly uneasy tone. This line here, which translates to, "This place is super creepy," is one of the first things a character says when they arrive. It's that classic horror foreshadowing, right? The characters themselves can feel that something is wrong with Lot 24, way before they have any idea why. So the setup is just pure horror gold. You've got a group of friends, they're heading out for what they think is going to be a nice, quiet weekend at a campsite. But of course, there's a catch. The campsite is owned by the main character Rachel's uncle, who's been missing for 2 years. So let's unpack how this seemingly normal camping trip starts to go off the rails, kicking things off with the mystery that's just hanging over everything. And this really is the question at the heart of it all. Rachel's uncle, a naturalist she can barely even remember, has just vanished. The only thing anyone seems to know is that he was obsessed with trees. Everything else about him, especially how he disappeared, is a total black box. So naturally, the friends try to lighten the mood a bit by joking about what happened to the uncle. You know, maybe he's some serial killer or a mad scientist working for the government. And this is just brilliant storytelling because while they're laughing, they're accidentally getting so close to a truth that is way, way stranger and a whole lot more terrifying than any of their theories. The first real crack in their reality shows up inside the uncle's RV. It is fully stocked with fresh water. Now, that might seem like a tiny detail, but it's so unsettling. If he's been gone for 2 years, who put it there? This is that first moment where the friends realize, okay, something is genuinely wrong here. And that feeling of unease just gets dialed up to 11 the next morning when the local sheriff shows up, a guy who seems to know the secrets of these woods a little too well. The sheriff immediately establishes himself as this super unsettling presence with lines like this. Now, he plays it off saying non-humans just means, wildlife and plants. But the way he says it, it's a deliberate choice. It's a hint that he sees these woods in a fundamentally different and much, much stranger way than they do. And then the sheriff just drops the bombshell. He lays out this absolutely incredible legend about Rachel's uncle, calling him Dr. Ron Moss. Apparently, he was a scientist who believed trees were some kind of conduit to other worlds, that he was talking to life beyond the stars, and that he was so disgusted by what humanity was doing to nature that he sacrificed himself to become one with the trees. Of course, the friends are completely skeptical. I mean, who wouldn't be? They call it bullcrap and a fairy tale. But Sheriff Poe tells this story with total, dead serious conviction. And it creates this amazing tension between their rational disbelief and his completely bizarre but weirdly detailed legend. So after dismissing the sheriff's story, the friends head out for a hike. But it's out there, deep in the woods, that his so-called fairy tale starts to feel horrifyingly real. As they get deeper into the woods, the whole vibe just changes. They find these trees that look strange, almost magical, and then they start hearing things. Faint whispers, even what sounds like screams just carried on the wind. It's like the forest itself is turning against them. Then, back in the RV, their skepticism gets completely shattered. They find these old newspaper clippings, and suddenly the sheriff's story isn't just some local folklore anymore. The headlines are right there, talking about Dr. Moss and his research into alien life and trees. All of a sudden, his wild tale has a chilling, factual basis. And then we hit the point of no return. Rachel feels drawn to one of the strange trees, and when she touches it, she gets this terrifying vision. A voice warns her that humanity is going to pay for what we've done to the earth, revealing that the trees, they're conduits for some kind of alien consciousness that's been watching our every move. From this point on, the threat isn't just in their heads anymore. It becomes very, very real, and the group is about to be physically torn apart. The way the group falls apart is just shockingly fast and brutal. T, who's actually excited by Rachel's vision, goes and touches the tree himself and is just instantly erased from existence, gone. His girlfriend Heather runs screaming into the woods after him, and she vanishes too. In just a few minutes, the group is decimated, and by the next morning, only Rachel is left. I mean, just think about the sheer speed of this collapse. This started as a fun weekend trip for 5 friends. But within just a few hours, that group was systematically dismantled, leaving only a single survivor and zero explanation. And this brings us to the end of the narrative, which, let me tell you, offers no easy answers. It really only leaves us with more questions. This is the final line from the story, and it's delivered in a voiceover by the sheriff himself. It just cements the whole thing as this unsolved and maybe unsolvable local horror story. What's so chilling is that even the lone survivor can't give us any answers. The sheriff finds Rachel the next morning, but her memory has been completely wiped clean. She's the only one who saw what really happens, but with her memory gone, the truth of Lot 24 is just lost. So, what really happened on Lot 24? Was it an alien abduction through some kind of dimensional portal in the trees? Was it a supernatural revenge plot by Mother Nature herself? Or was it something else? Something we can't even begin to comprehend? The story never tells us, and it leaves us to wonder about the strange forces that might just be listening from inside the woods.